When I was brought on board to create the art for the exhibit, I knew I could do the drawings, make them exciting, dramatic, but the real challenge for me was that they also needed to be as historically accurate as possible, down to the last details, the clothes, the hair, the weapons, everything. Well, I was part of a larger team, and specifically what the project required from me were 6 life-size standees of the 8 main characters. Some of those were paired up, 12 large-scale scenes, a video, and a comic book, something that the children could take home with them. I started with the characters. They're really the centerpiece of the exhibit because we learn what exactly the Civil War meant to Kentucky and to Kentuckians through them and their stories. So, based on biographies, physical and historical descriptions, and in some cases photographs that were supplied to me, I produced pencil drawings of each of these characters. But for some, like Ellen Wallace for example, whom we didn't have photographs for, I had to take what we did know about them, or people like them at that time, to come up with what they might have looked like. But in addition to their appearance, it was really important that we convey their personalities, which I didn't always get right the first time. For example, Henry Lane Stone went through about 3 sets of revisions before we got him right. I first drew him very formal and rigid, and so KHS said, let's loosen him up a little bit, make him a little bit more like a rebel, sort of a James Dean character. So my next try took him a little bit too far in that direction, gave him too much of a swagger. So my third try, I had to rein that back in just slightly to get him exactly where we needed him to be. Once these drawings were finished, we showed these early drawings to focus groups, and their comments were really important in helping us make sure that the characters conveyed what we intended them to convey. These preliminary drawings were drawn in pencil, and so once the pencil art was approved, each drawing was then inked and colored. With the large scenes, I actually added a step at the beginning. I began with rough thumbnail sketches for the more finished pencil art to work out the basic composition of each of the scenes before concentrating on the details in the penciling stage. The rest of the process was very similar to that of the standees. It was important to the team at KHS that the visitors connect emotionally with both the characters and events of the Civil War in a way that's immediate and relevant, not like something in a stiff, grainy old photograph that happened a long time ago. But how do you do that visually? One thing I did to make the viewer, in a subtle way, more part of the action is place characters prominently in the foreground of each scene to act as a bridge between the viewer and what's going on in the image. I want you, as the viewer, to feel as though you are part of an infantry line, or standing right in the middle of the street as gunfire erupts at a polling station, or working in the field right next to a slave, and able to see the weariness in his face as he's gathering hemp under this intense sun. I want people who come to visit the HistoryMobile to enjoy going through the exhibit as much as I did working on it, because I had a lot of fun on it. And hopefully, they'll learn something new along the way. I know I sure did.